All right, let's play detective for a minute. We're going to tackle a huge modern mystery. See, your data is always on the move, jumping between different cloud services. But do you really know its full story? Like, where's it been? Who's touched it? Today, we're cracking the case of what's called cross-cloud data lineage. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll lay out the mystery. Then, we'll follow the data's trail, just like a real investigation. After that, we'll figure out how to capture every single clue, put it all together to see the whole story, and finally, we'll see why all of this is so important when it comes to compliance. Let's get started. Okay, so first up, what exactly is this mystery? Well, every good detective story starts with a problem, right? And in the data world, the biggest puzzle is often just not knowing what's actually happening with your most valuable stuff, your data. So let me ask you this, and really think about it. You see a number in a big report, or maybe a customer's address in an app. Can you, right now, say with absolute certainty that you know its entire life story? Can you trace it all the way back to where it came from? For most of us, the honest answer is probably not. And that's the core of the problem. Your data doesn't just sit in one neat little box anymore. It starts out, say, in an Amazon service, gets crunched in a Google service, and then analyzed somewhere else entirely. Every time it jumps, its story gets broken into little pieces. And those gaps, those blind spots, that's where the danger is. That's where bad decisions and, big compliance headaches are born. So what do we do about it? How do we light up those dark corners? Well, we have to put on our detective hats for real and follow the trail step by step, no matter where it leads. Let's take a look at a pretty common scenario. Think of this as our case file. The data first shows up or gets ingested into Amazon S3. Then it gets questioned, let's say, using AWS Athena. After that, it's moved over to a Google BigQuery warehouse, and finally, it gets a full analysis in Databricks. I mean, talk about a journey across different jurisdictions. And here's the tricky part. Each of these stops, AWS, Google, Databricks, they're all like different departments with their own way of doing things, their own logbooks. As the data moves, the trail can go cold, fast. Trying to connect all those dots to get one single unbroken story, it's really, really tough. Okay, so if the trail's broken, how do we possibly piece it back together? Simple. We have to get much, much better at collecting the evidence in the first place. We can't let any clues slip through the cracks. Now, there's a name for this complete case file we're trying to build. It's called data lineage. And it's not just a single picture. It's the entire life story of a piece of data. It tells you where it was born, everything that happened to it, and every single place it's ever been. So how do you actually build this story? Well, the secret sauce is something called metadata propagation. I know, it sounds super technical, but just think of it like this. It's like putting a little evidence tag on your data. Every time the data moves, that tag gets updated with new info, where it's been, what changed, so the clues actually travel with the data. Cool, right? And what kind of information are we talking about? It's the classic detective stuff, the who, what, where, when, and how. Where did it come from and where is it going? What changes were made to it? Who ran the process? Exactly when did it happen? All the IDs, all the details, even the structure of the data itself. You collect all of this, and suddenly, your case is looking pretty solid. All right, so we've done the hard work. We've gathered a mountain of clues, logs, timestamps, all that good stuff. But here's the thing. A huge pile of notes doesn't solve the case, right? You have to organize it, connect the dots, and actually see the story. Yeah, this quote really hits the nail on the head. Having all that lineage information stuck in code or log files is, well, it's like a detective's notebook that's written in a secret language. It might all be there, but it's not going to help you much unless you can actually see what's going on. And I mean, just look at the difference it makes. On the one hand, you're buried in raw log files, trying to make sense of it all. It's confusing. But on the other hand, you get a clean, interactive map. Suddenly, everything makes sense. If a number on a report looks off, you're not launching a huge investigation. You just follow the map back and find the problem, literally in minutes. Okay, so why does all this matter? Why go through all this trouble? Well, this isn't just a cool tech project. All this detective work has a huge payoff in the real world, especially when the auditors show up. Think about it. An auditor asks, can you prove to me how you're handling this sensitive customer data? You can't just say, we're pretty sure it's fine. You need proof. And a complete visual data lineage trail, that is your proof. It's the rock-solid, undeniable record of that data's entire life. And get this, doing this manually for an audit is a nightmare. It's an all-hands-on-deck fire drill that can take weeks. But having this stuff automated, it can slash that prep time by something like 80%. It turns a total panic into just clicking a button. Bottom line, this is what lets you answer those really tough, really important questions. Questions like, where did this data even come from? Who's looked at it? Is it secure? And instead of guessing, you can confidently say, yep, we know, and here's the proof. So we're back to where we started, with that one simple question. In today's world, your data is probably your most valuable asset. Not knowing its real story? Well, that's a huge risk. The tools to solve this mystery are out there. The only question left is, are you ready to start investigating?